Ready, set,
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready, Set, Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and kinda funny up-and-comer. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by my pick for kinda funny up-and-comer, Teddy Chinaris.
Not gonna lie, I did not read this intro whatsoever. I'm very flattered. Thank you, good sir. Hello.
Teddy.
I did not read that.
No, I had figured when at no point did you acknowledge it while we were setting things up that you were like, oh. Huh.
I kind of like not reading the intros, though.
It's
a fun little surprise.
Teddy, who do you think should be up-and-comer?
If not me, which I actually genuinely might go for it. If not me, though, your boy MC Fixer, your boy Corey Cudney, your boy Mario Not Bros. Who else? I'm totally missing people, and I feel really bad about it because they're all gonna be mad at me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, friends. I could say your boy Snowbike Mike, but like he doesn't need any more.
He's pretty much part of it. He's already
fine.
Yeah, they're doing a show with him. They kickstarted.
He doesn't need any more. It's fine. But I genuinely might actually. Like,
I mean, you got to start campaigning now.
Start getting that content going.
You gotta start campaigning now, Teddy. There's people putting out raps and shit.
It's true.
I don't know when nominations are gonna open up.
I'm not gonna win by none of this flashy, non-substance kind of bullshit. Right here, here's what I'm gonna win. Okay. I'm gonna win with true, good, quality content, boys. It's all about the content.
Yep. Okay. Vote Teddy Chinaris for prom king.
Oh God! Remember when that was a thing and I did not want it? I was like, no.
I didn't go, but I lived vicariously through your tweets. I hear it was
it was such a good time. I'm legitimately saving up money for if the studio launch party thing happens, and I can.
I mean, it'll happen. Just when,
when is the answer.
I would also like to go.
I'm not even convinced. I'm not convinced it's going to be this year. They have so much work to do on that studio.
I would also like to go, but it's one of the things that like you need to announce like before December for me to be able to have a chance at it.
Oh yeah.
But until the kind of funny launch studio party, what video games have you been playing?
Still some Stardew Valley every now and then. The other night at work, we were so slow. I think it was it was Sunday night. It was when the Super Bowl was going. So like no one was, going out to eat. Everybody was watching the Super Bowl. So like we were so slow that I just pulled out my Switch and me and one of my other coworkers just played Smash for a little bit. That was fun. So I got to try out Byleth, the new Smash character, who's actually like, I only played him for like 2 games, but like, fuck. He's really fun.
You're not playing the girl?
No. No, because I mean, when I played that Fire Emblem 3 Houses, I was the dude.
Wow.
I gotta get back to that game, dude. That game's so good. 3 Houses is genuinely awesome.
Is it sad that trailer, like the Smash Brothers character is like, maybe I'll play 3 Houses now?
No, because that's kind of what it's supposed to be. It's marketing.
Yeah.
In their own way, Smash is marketing. So they're like, good, we did our job. We sold a character and also got him interested in the game. The game's so good, though. God. Dude, I don't know why. Here's just a side little tangent. Well, it kind of goes into what I've been playing. But, like, lately, it's been like, rainy here in Nashville, and a lot of the times when I go to work like pretty late at night at like 6 o'clock, and I'll work from like 6 till like 11:30, and I'll be driving in. It's like rainy, and by the time it gets to like when I'm getting into kind of downtown Nashville, it's like rainy, but like just drizzly enough to where it's like kind of peaceful and relaxing. It's like hitting the car, and then I'm driving through, and there's like all the car lights, and there's like neon signs of all the buildings and like skyscrapers, and it very much reminds me of Persona 5. I don't know why, but rain in a city reminds me, it's such like an anime aesthetic for me. I don't know why. Like, I guess Totoro kind of, like the gif of him in the rain with the girls, like that whole scene. I literally just saw Weathering with You, which is a movie about rain set in Tokyo, so maybe partially that. But there's specifically nights. I only played legit 10 hours of Persona 5, but there's nights, like in-game nights in that game where you're going, like you're headed home to your little, where your uncle, or I don't know, where the dude who's like your guardian, where he lives, you're like going back to your bedroom, and you like have to run through this alley, and it's like dark, and there's neon, and it'll be like rainy, and it's like the little puddles. I don't know why, but it makes me want to play Persona 5 so bad. That game's so good, and I miss it, and I want to play it. And also, people are playing that Persona 5 Scramble demo is like out, and there's like stuff about it from the Japanese version, and apparently it is very much just like a Persona 5 sequel. It's just, when it comes to the story, it's just like a sequel.
I saw a trailer for it, and I specifically saw somebody kind of gif a section from the trailer where it was like a 2 was coming in, like it was gonna be Persona, and then like the 2 comes in, and then the S knocks it out of the way.
And it's like, they're very much leaning into that. It's just like the 2, which is crazy. Makes me want it, but I would have to beat the first game, and so it makes me want to beat the first game, and then it's like, well, I don't know about that, because that's a lot of time. JRPGs. But I really loved Persona 4. Like, I've told you my story with P4, where I was in the last dungeon. I almost beat that game. I was like 80 hours in, and then I lost my save because I was stupid. And then I was like, I'm not going to replay it and try and and then literally that weekend, I was like 20 hours in again. I was like, damn it. So I was like, I just really like that game. So I would love to finish Persona 5, but it's one of those mini games where I'm like, I'd love to. And so there's stuff about that, and and I've just really kind of been wanting to play that game. And then there was also stuff about how, we actually don't have this as a news story, but we probably should. I'll just mention it right here real quick. Apparently there was an article coming out about how Ubisoft is supposed to have, 5 big AAA games out this year. And it was like 3 of them we already know about, and 2 of them is supposedly, according to like Jason Schreier, supposed to be like Far Cry. One of them's Far Cry, one of them's Assassin's Creed. And I again was like, fuck, I gotta beat Odyssey. Like, the newest Assassin's Creed is gonna be out, and I will not have beaten Odyssey. Which is really upsetting, because I've beaten every single mainline Assassin's Creed up until Odyssey. So, like, I've got to do it. So that is the other game I've been playing.
Do you just get hung up on side quests, or what?
Well, I mean, Odyssey in and of itself is a giant fucking game.
Yeah.
Like, it's way bigger than, like, if you look up howlongtobeat.com right now for Assassin's Creed 2, for example, is like 20 hours for the main story. And for like completionist run, it's like 34 hours, right? Whereas Assassin's Creed Odyssey is, for the main story, 40 hours, and for the completionist run, 122.
Yeah, like,
so I was like, and to be honest, I was definitely playing, and still am playing that game as if I'm going to platinum it. So like that, I fully expect to spend 120 hours in that game. But
yeah,
and then there's still DLC.
I expect, I guess I didn't think it would be that long, but I do know that, like, it's so big, there's so much side quest stuff to do. I was figuring that maybe the main path was a little bit shorter.
The problem is that the main path is very much like, I mean, it's like an RPG. Like, when certain main story stuff, it's hard to mainline because you have to level up. And at that point, I'm like, I already know that I kind of want to platinum this game, so like, I'll just go to this region that's level 18 and just complete all of the stuff in it, and then move on to the next one that's level 18. And that in and of itself is its own kind of way of playing that game, and it's fun. Yeah. But there's also like 3 different... So the main story, there's not even one main story. It's divided into like, there's a main story with the family kind of like her and her brother, and then there's a main story of like the overall main story in ancient Greece, and then there's one that's based on like the modern day stuff. It's there's like three different on the right on your quest screen. There's like legacy, and there's like three different things for that, and like each quest is tied to one of those three things. I'm probably no. One of them is the family, which is like the main kind of story, and one of them is cultists, which is like its own kind of side story in the thing, but it's one of the three main stories, so it is pretty big. And there's a whole cultist system, which is very much kind of like the Shadow of War Nemesis system. Not exactly, and not even with how it works, but just in the fact of like its own kind of system in the game, where like you track down clues on one of them, and then it unveils information on others. Like it's this whole thing. It's so cool. And then there's like a whole modern day thing too, which is a shocking amount of modern day shit, which I love because I'm one of those weirdos that love the modern day shit in Assassin's Creed. So like the fact that there's a ton of it in Odyssey is really cool. And it makes sense because in like Assassin's Creed 2 and shit, all of the mythical, or the not modern day, but the what's it called? But I don't know, all of the mythical like gods and stuff, like at the end of Assassin's Creed 2 were like Juno and like Jupiter and stuff. Like those are like ancient Greek, ancient Roman like god names that they're putting on the first civilization. That's the term I was looking for. They're like putting those terms on first civilization people. So it's like now we're in ancient Greece. So like it kind of makes sense that there would be a lot more of the modern day stuff. But it's really cool. Odyssey's amazing, and I would love to play more of it. So I hopped back in there. I've only played for like 2 nights, so only a couple hours, but I do want to keep playing. It's a really great game, and it was very easy to quickly hop back into. Like I picked it up and was like, oh, I remember how to play this, which surprised me.
Nice. I have also been playing Stardew Valley. They did the multiplayer update for the Switch, and so I actually got my girlfriend Stardew Valley a while back. It was like $5 on Amazon or something, and so I got that for her. I was like, Animal Cross, the scene is a while way out. Here is a game that will probably scratch that itch. It's kind of like you're befriending people, you're
so
doing
good.
the deal. And I don't know, she just played like 2 days and was just like, no, this isn't Animal Crossing.
No, there's an actual game there. Fight me, Animal Crossing fans.
And then the multiplayer deal came out, and then I'm like, okay, I'm getting it on the Switch because I had played a bunch on PC, and I was like, we can do a farm together, we can do it all up. And now she loves Stardew Valley. Like
It's so good.
I think she like. If she can co-op something with me, she's more willing to do it. Like, I think we might even play Gears 4, and she is not a shooter person. But I think there's that like robot that she can play as that like can't die.
Yeah. I hear that's like a pretty good co-op mode too. Like it's pretty fun from what I've heard.
Yeah.
I think that's Gears 5 though.
Oh yeah, I think it's the latest one. Yeah.
Yeah. Also with Stardew, honestly, you have to get further into it to where it really kind of you understand the energy and the time, and like you unlock the mines, and like all you kind of have to get a good like week or 2 weeks in game time, or like not in game time, but like in game, the days pass through. You kind of have to get a good bit into it to then like
she
really
also was saying like she didn't know what to do, and I do think like when she said that, I was like, oh yeah, I guess they don't really have much of a tutorial system. They kind of just are like, it's Harvest Moon. You know Harvest Moon, right? And she didn't know Harvest Moon.
I didn't either, but like I don't know, that game kind of captivated me, I think, from like the aesthetic and like the town. Like when you first start, I opened it up when I first started that game and saw like the relationships tab and saw everybody with their, I think that's one of the first things I did, like saw all of the people with their names with like question marks, and I was like, oh, I gotta go meet everybody.
I mean, yeah, that's the first quest they give you, I think, is like go say hi to everybody. And yeah, so we've been playing a lot of that. Like I basically spend a lot of times in the mines. Like I love digging in the mines. It's a cool like risk reward deal.
Bro, It's definitely been since the last time we talked, but or since we did podcast, I got to the final floor of the mines. I got to the final floor of the mines, which I've never done before.
Floor, what is it, 120?
120, yes.
Okay.
120.
I don't...
And I'm almost married to Abigail. I have like 8 or like 9 hearts. It's crazy. I've never gotten this far.
I've actually, I've got her 1 heart from Max.
Yeah, me too. That's where I'm at.
But I've been keeping her on the back burner because I want to get everybody else's hearts up, because once you marry them, if you give other single people gifts, your wife will get jealous.
Oh.
So I'm trying to max out everybody else before I do that.
I gotta do it.
But yeah, so I've been in the mines doing that, and Aaron's basically waters the plants, though we do have Max sprinklers and stuff, so she basically just harvests the plants. She doesn't actually water them. But we got like every type of animal. We got ducks, we got chickens, we got void chickens, we got cows.
Oh shit! I just discovered void chickens the other day. I don't have one, but I realized it's a thing through the wiki and whatnot. That's crazy.
You'll need one for a quest down the line.
Okay.
To unlock more stuff, and we don't have a horse yet. That's one of the things I want to work on, but we completed the community center.
That's one of the things I did fastest. I think I got a stable before I got a coop. I just worked, and do you want to know the best way to get a stable? Because you need hardwood.
Yeah,
do you know how to get hardwood?
Secret forest.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that secret forest was a lifesaver. Yeah. I went there every day. Piled up that 12 hardwood, getting that wood.
You can get like 16 hardwood out of there, but
I think it's 12 every day. Yeah.
Yeah, you need like 250, and it's like, okay, see you in a month.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It is nice playing with 2 people that it can be like, hey, I'm gonna go to the mines. You're gonna get that hardwood for me? Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Bring that hardwood over.
Before I get in further. This is a PSA for people who are like, man, doing that co-op sounds real good on the Nintendo Switch. Right now, there is a problem with it. You can do local communication, and that works good. Like, Aaron's had issues where she's disconnected quite a bit, but for the most part, it seems to work pretty well for us. But there was one time where it turned out that her Switch was not her primary Switch. And so it kept being like, you need to connect to the internet. And it took us a minute to realize, oh, wait, that's because it's not our primary Switch and she needs to check in every once in a while. So we did online mode instead of local communication so that she would be connected to the internet. But turns out if you at any point right now, if you at any point use online mode, you cannot use local communication again. There is a workaround for it. If you build a new co-op person's house, they can reconnect using local communication. But you just have to have an extra house just sitting there. So
weird.
Hopefully this will be a thing that they can get patched. But if you're someone who plays local communication, don't go online. If you've already had this issue, then you can build a second house to try and fix it. But hopefully this will be a thing they fix down the line.
Hitting you with those hot tips and tricks over here.
But okay.
Tips and tricks with T Martin.
We are just starting year 3.
Wow, Jesus, you're real far in.
That is the thing about co-op. The clock never stops.
Yeah, the clock doesn't stop because you're on whenever you open the inventory, it doesn't stop.
Nothing stops.
I'm just now ending year 1.
Yeah, that's the pace is so much slower. Like it's like oh, I'm gonna go do this real quick. A day's over. Okay.
But hopefully it makes up for it. By the fact that you have 2 people doing stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
defo. I mean, you can get up to 4, but we've completed the community center. I think probably
so cool.
halfway through year 2.
Oh my god.
I
love this game.
Which actually unlocks a new thing similar to the community center, but with way, way harder challenge stuff that they need.
Oh, shit. See, like, I already know that Stardew Valley, I want to play that game fucking ever. I want to get all the achievements. I want to catch every fish that's ever existed in that game. So, like, when like, this, what was it? It's like a night market in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
When that rolls around and there was a submarine that takes you down and it opens up so you can fish, I was like, oh, shit. And I immediately Googled and went onto the wiki, was like, okay, what are the exclusive fish that you can only get in the submarine? I went for it. And I got all 3 of them, you know? So...
Okay, so there's only the 3? Okay.
I think so. It seems like it's the... What is it? Like Midnight Squid?
Yeah.
There's 2 others. I think the Midnight Squid is the one that I don't have, but I'm only like one... The last time I played it was like the 2nd day of the Night Festival, so...
There's one that just looks like a face. I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's like the
it's
glob
weird. It's like, blobfish or something like that.
And then
there's one other one that looks like a squid as well. It's not a squid, but it's
it looks globier. It's kind of like a squid, but globier. I don't know the name of it.
The globby squid.
But yeah,
that's what they call it.
Me and the girlfriend had talked, and we've decided that we're marrying other people.
Wow.
I
respect it.
We decided it's for gameplay reasons to get gifts and stuff from our significant other.
Yeah, of course. But
that's what Abigail's coming back. It's it's gonna be interesting when that like happens. Are they just chilling at the farm with the 2 of us? But if you are a minor, Abigail best girl, hands down. If you love the mines, Abigail best girl, hands down for sure. Because she, like, if you look
at the longest time, it was between Abigail and Leah for me.
Leah's cute. Leah's cute, but I didn't get to know her too well. I know she's kind of artsy fartsy.
Yeah. Leah's great. I like Leah.
Who's the blue-haired girl?
Emily. She was not originally a candidate.
Oh.
So I don't even know her romance options, because not gonna lie, when I first was deciding, I was so paralyzed with decision that I looked up every single character and their like the cutscenes and like what it looks like to go all the way through for all of them. So I don't know what Emily's looks like, because he added that.
The basically it's like Clint is super into Emily and stuff.
Yes.
And so,
he is.
Whenever I'm like doing,
I don't want to take her away from Clint.
Yeah, whenever I'm doing stuff, Clint's like, congratulations. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to get all the hearts before I go settle down with Abigail. Like, this isn't a thing.
Don't you worry, you're good.
But spoilers, she's into crystals and shit. Basically, like any shiny thing you pull out of the mine, she'd be down for.
That's kind of Abigail.
The bookish girl. I need to crack
Penny.
that. Yeah, Penny. I need to crack that nut. Every time I talk to her, she just does not say like shit to me, and I'm just like, what do I need to do to just get you to like unveil your truth? Like, give me the
speak your fucking truth.
Yeah, it's almost like Aaron did that with Shane, because if you ever talk to Shane, he's like, I don't know you. What are you bothering me? But apparently, like, if you get to know him, he's like, oh, I got troubles. He's an alcoholic, but if you romance him, he'll quit.
Bro, one of the ones I really want to become really good friends with are Linus, the hobo.
Yeah, got him maxed out.
Apparently both of them, when he becomes friends with them, they're great.
Do you want to help with a decision that I messed up?
Sure, I guess.
At one point, Linus is going to ask you something about your farm. Well, no, you're going to get the chance to offer something to Linus.
Okay.
Don't offer it. He doesn't want it.
Okay.
I thought it was, ooh, this is gonna be a cool opportunity. He doesn't want it, and he's not gonna like you for it.
Cool.
I mean, I don't know if it decreased my hearts or anything. He just kind of gave me a talking to.
Yeah, I doubt it did anything. It was probably just.
Yeah, I'm right now. I want to complete that secondary community center deal, which I'm looking up. Like they're like, oh, you need caviar. I'm like, what? Where does this? And apparently you gotta get a fishing pond, and then you gotta get this fish for the fishing pond, and then you gotta get the eggs.
I learned how to make chocolate cake, so that's when I went and finally got chickens. I had a coop for the longest time, like ready for chickens, but I just kind of didn't really want to go and get them. I don't know why. I just didn't want to deal with it.
And You're just hoping they'd show up.
No, I just didn't want to deal with it. I was like doing other mines and fishing stuff, you know. I just didn't want to deal with animals on my farm, you know. But then I was like, okay, I need some eggs to make chocolate cake so that Abigail will love me, right? So I went and got some chickens. Like it's a whole thing.
I just go.
I know.
Amethyst.
For the most part, I gave her amethyst too, but I'm out. Ran out of amethyst. Got to the bottom level of mine, so I'm like, I don't really want to go back in. And the bacon chocolate cake, that's new. You know, it's a new thing. So I was like, all right, I'll get some chickens, get some eggs. But one of my chickens' name is the Colonel. One of them is Cluck Norris. Big fan. They're pretty great.
I think we have like 4 chickens.
Yeah.
One's Falco. One is. I know the Void chicken is Crypto. One of them's Clucky. And I can't remember the other one. I do know that the duck is named Dewey.
Oh, that's good.
I like what I would do. So Aaron took care of the animals every day, and sometimes I'd slip down to Marnie's and I'd buy a new animal without her. Like I would be playing on the TV, but she'd be playing handheld. We'd be sitting right next to each other, but she'd be like looking at her Switch. And so I'd wait till she's like focused, and I'd slip down to Marnie's and buy a new animal and wait till see how long until she notices. She'd be like,
funny.
What? There's a new animal? And for a while, she thought that the duck was a chicken until it grew up, and then she's like, oh, it's a duck.
This is a duck.
She's like, why'd you name a chicken Dewey? I'm like, I don't know. Why would I do that?
Stardew Valley's so good. What a great game.
You need to fix the bus because the desert.
Which one is the bus repair? Because I think I actually might be almost done with that one.
I don't remember which one's the bus repair. I just know that unlocks basically mines, but hard mode.
Yeah, hard mode, and I think they're infinite.
I don't know if they're infinite, but there's I got a secret note that's like, meet me at floor 100 of the mines, and I'm like, dude, there's no elevator. I got to do 100 levels. Save every stone you can.
There is no limit to the number of floors or levels.
Yeah.
At least until the integer limit of 21474833647 is reached.
Wow.
That's so cool. This game's so good. But like, see, this is where I'm like, maybe I just sit down and play nothing but Stardew again, but I gotta play Assassin's Creed because I gotta fucking beat that game, and it's so good. It is great. I gotta play both.
You just need to become a full-time streamer so that you can just play all games all the time and do that. That's why I vote Hageneris for up and comer. Make him famous.
So I can just play Stardew and Assassin's Creed. It's completely selfish.
Also, I found my Nintendo DS.
Nice.
And it was just like sitting on a shelf, and I'm like, oh, there. And then I was like, oh, the Pokemon Home is coming out soon, and I played Pokemon Moon. So I was like, oh, let me download Pokemon Bank so I'm ready to transfer my Pokemon from Moon to Home, and then eventually to to Sword and Shield. And then I searched for Pokemon Bank in the DS store, and then I saw Pokemon Crystal, which is Gen 2. It's the third game in Gen 2, and it's not a remake or anything. It's OG. It's just the game. And I was just like, you know what? This could be fun. To just kind of load this up and mess around.
I've told you before, but the one Pokemon game that I've had the most fun with was Pokemon Yellow, which was just a re-release on the 3DS.
Yeah, that's
like the old ones are fun.
I was tempted. I was like, Yellow, Crystal, but it's like basically Let's Go is Pokemon Yellow. Yeah. So, but with a different deal. So. I went Crystal because I really love the starters from that gen, and I'm excited to be like go on the journey with them and then bringing them into the current games and see them like it's gonna be so cool to see like my little pixelated boys become real men.
Wow, I'm happy for you. You're a proud dad.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts Remind, the DLC came out. Very disappointed with it.
I will say before we get too far from Pokemon, something that I haven't played yet, but I bought, and hopefully by next time I will have played it, is I bought Temtem, that Pokemon MMO on PC.
I actually kickstarted that, and
nice.
I was like, hey, I should have a code for this, and I tracked it down, and so I just installed it the other day. I haven't played it yet.
I downloaded it because I have a coworker that we've always wanted to like play some games together, and we didn't really have anything that we played. And I was like, he asked me like, oh, how do you feel about Temtem? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get it. We should play it together, but we haven't had time.
Yeah, hopefully we'll both be able to have something to say about Temtem next time because I downloaded it and I'm like, I need to play that, but then everything around me has been breaking, and so I'm scared to touch anything.
Yeah, I get that.
For people who don't know, the reason I wasn't on the last episode is because my computer's hard drive broke, and I didn't know right away that that's what happened. It just didn't boot up, so I built a entirely new computer, and now we got that going, which is good. This fucking thing is a beast. Oh god, it's a beast. I played some VR stuff, and on my exact same headset, stuff is clearer and crisper than it was before, and just like I can run everything max settings. It's nice. I play Control, got that ray shading.
Wow, shit.
It's cool to have, but also it seems to be glitching out, so I might have to turn it off. Like it seems like she's got little sparkles on her chest, and like there's points where it looks fine, but when it's like focused on her, the like meshes seem to have issues. So I don't know.
That doesn't seem exactly correct.
But it's cool that I can turn it on. That it gives me the option. But Kingdom Hearts Remind. So it basically. Remind adds new scenes to the kind of the final battles that you do in Kingdom Hearts 3. And for the most part, you're just replaying. Like there's some new fights, some new interactions that they just kind of add some new cutscenes. They explain some stuff that I did not need explained, and honestly, the explanation makes the game worse for me. Because they had a whole thing where they're like, well, this is why we brought this character. And I'm like, that makes less sense than if you said nothing. They were like, we don't know who she is, and that's why she's the perfect weapon. No,
bro,
that's why she's the worst weapon.
I watched the kind of funny impressions video that they did on this DLC, and they just basically played like the first 30-45 minutes. It's fucking, as somebody who does not know anything about Kingdom Hearts, it's a trip. It's like, and they kept trying to explain it. They kept trying to be like, okay, who's that? And he's like, no, that's Xehanort. No, that's Roxas, who's a nobody of this thing. But actually, no, that's not. No, that's wrong. It's this guy. And then at one point there was like, Kevin's just like, there's 7 of them. It's just like they just keep. He's like, why are we fighting 13 of these bosses?
Yeah, there's 13 bad guys and 7 good guys. And then after you complete Remind, you unlock a new DLC, like another chapter deal, which you take your. Okay. You have to have a completed save, I think, of Kingdom Hearts 3 to be able to take into Remind. Then once you finish Remind, you can take that save, and only that save, not a save from before, into this new deal, which has a bunch of data battles against the hardest enemies of the game. Well, basically the hardest enemies of the game, except they made them harder. They made it like, this is an ultimate challenge for serious Kingdom Hearts people. Which they've done in previous games, but it's been like a little side room that you could go find and you could go test yourself. you don't get to see how the DLC ends without beating these insanely hard bosses that I can't get. I can hit them twice and then I'm dead. And I'm like, why would you force me to go? I'm not. I looked it up on YouTube. I'm like, oh, okay. That's what, because I'm not that kind of player, and they shouldn't expect me to be that. But also, so the reason I complained about having to take the saves through is I didn't finish the game at level 99. I didn't max level. And that was fine for the normal remind stuff. I was able to handle that stuff. But if I have any chance at fighting these data bosses, I need to be max level. I need to have the best equipment. Except, from my understanding, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong about this, to do that, I would then have to go back to Kingdom Hearts 3, grind to reach level 99 and get all the stuff I want, then replay all remind with the with the maxed out character. Then do I finally get a chance to fight the data bosses at level 99? And it's like, no, I'm not doing it.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's stupid. As I've said, I've been messing around with Control. That game is so cool. That game's got like every time I walk into an area, I'm like, this is cool looking. It's just real pretty. The abilities are cool. There's the way they handle stuff is very, very interesting. Like, you only get health back by taking out enemies, and then you have to they drop health orbs, and then you have to go pick them up.
Oh God, that sounds so good.
So you're fighting a boss, and you're like, give me some random dudes so I can kill them real quick, and because I got nothing in the tank, I'm dead. Just bring somebody in here that I can shoot and then dash through real quick so you don't hit me. But I love grabbing. You can telekinesis grab stuff and then throw them at people, and it feels so satisfying. Just the powers you unlock are so good. And I hear there's so many cool stuff, but
I want to play that game. And for the longest time, I've wanted to play Quantum Break so bad because both of these games, Control especially, but both of these games, with how the powers work and whatnot, seem the closest thing I'm gonna get to Infamous. And Infamous is my favorite video game series. So, I want to play it so bad. But I bet you'll never guess where I'm at with Control. Take a guess.
You just started.
Bought it, haven't opened it.
Oh.
You can guess that for most games with Teddy Chinaris. Yeah, I got that for, my birthday, and then I have not started it. But I haven't beaten Jedi Fallen Order still, and I really would like to. But.
Well, Teddy, maybe in the news section, you can tell me if you started Anthem.
I actually didn't, which is weird because it's one game that you would think would be very Teddy Chinaris, at least before it launched. And then, it launched, and then I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because of all of the things. But maybe this next time, maybe when it relaunches,
version 2,
give it a shot. Yeah, because Casey Hudson, BioWare general manager, put up a blog post that was very much it's kind of short, so you should go read it if you really want to, but it is very much they're basically putting all of their effort into relaunching it and doing a big old Taken King style thing, which everybody had hoped that they were doing. But it's cool to see them confirm it. They're definitely, it says, in the meantime, we'll continue to run the current version of Anthem, but move away from full seasons as the team works towards the future of Anthem. We'll keep the game going with events, store refreshes, and revisiting past seasonal and Cataclysm content. But the last paragraph says, creating new worlds is central to our studio mission, but it's not easy. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we miss. What keeps us going is the support from players like you. Your feedback gives us guidance on how we can improve, and your passion inspires us with the courage to create. I look forward to working together with your involvement and feedback towards the possible future of Anthem. So, throughout most of this, they're basically talking about how, hey, we messed up. We know we messed up, but, we want to kind of make this right and, relaunch this game in a better state. but that is, I think that is going to be a good bit away. Like, I don't think it's anytime soon, but they're working on it, so that's cool.
Yeah,
and I hope it's good, because I would like that game. And from what I've heard, the movement and the gameplay and stuff is like what people did enjoy about it. Like, the combo system for the fighting is very unique. So if they can fix a lot of the overlying issues, then yeah, be cool.
I really hope this, like, there's a part of this trend that I appreciate, but also I hope it stops, where they kind of release these broken, bad games, and then over the next few years, make it the game that you wanted.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's why people really liked Division 2. I don't know where that's at these days, but when Division 2 launched, everybody was really worried because, you know, Destiny 2 launched and was, like, weirdly fucking 3 steps backwards from where Destiny 1 ended. But like, everybody was scared Division 2 was going to do the same thing, but Division 2 launched and was like, here's an end game already. And like, here's like all of what you had before, but more and better. Like, they did like finish where Division 1 ended and like continued, and it was like polished, and there weren't very many tech issues, and like Division 2 had a really solid launch. And then Anthem was, honestly, if I remember correctly, around the same kind of time period. So everybody was like, yikes, look at what Division 2 is doing and look what Anthem's doing. But it's a bummer.
Yeah, Fallout 76 is starting to get to the point where I'm like, interesting. And
but it's like fucking 3 years later.
Yeah, that like,
this point.
This has to be the 4th game that I can think of that has done that, where they like came out and it's just like, this is bad, and then like they, you know, stuck to it and kept working on it, and people are, it's getting to the point where it's good, but it's like, couldn't you have just made it good before you put it out?
Anthem seems like such a different case than the other games, though. Specifically, Anthem seems like, from like that Jason Schreier article about like stuff that was happening behind the scenes for development of that game, seems like fucking hell. Like like there were stories in that article about like developers pulling each other into rooms so that they could fucking cry about it, and like people were leaving the project, and like they started, apparently at one point they tried to like do a demo where they showed off the flight, and somebody was like, no, cut that, and then later they're like, no, put the flight back. Like, the flight system in and of itself was like very last minute in a way. Like, it's I don't know, that story, I'm probably getting a lot of that wrong, but like that story was crazy with like all the development it was insane for that game. So like, I am shocked that Anthem's even able to pull themselves back into where they can relaunch it, because it seemed like even just the creative team is so different. But maybe they hired on a bunch of new people that have plans for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, the other game, I mean, look at No Man's Sky.
Yeah, that's the one that
is definitely a thing that they turned it around and now is a well-liked game.
Yeah.
You know what is a game that will never turn it around, but somebody's trying to bring it back? Neopets.
Hey, Neopets is dope, all right?
Neopets was dope. It is no longer dope.
Neopets is dope.
You don't load up Neopets and go like, this is
I'm doing it right fucking now.
Yeah, you'll load it up and go like, man, look at these memories. Not, this is an enjoyable experience that I wanted.
I am loading up my I'm making a new Neopets account right now.
I wish I could figure out my login to my old one. I keep trying. I know I got in sometime in, I don't know, last 10 years, but
I'm starting a new one. Let's see this thing.
Okay, the reason I bring up Neopets is because coming from a Polygon article, a Neopets animated TV series in the works. Canadian broadcasting company Blue Ant Media has earned exclusive rights to develop a Neopets TV series under its Singapore-based production company, Beach House Pictures. Beach House Pictures is developing new characters and stories, the company said in a news release, tapping into the Blue Ant Studios animation team in Canada to expand the storytelling and bring added dimension to the Neopets kid and family-friendly brand. The time for a Neopets show has passed. Who
Long come and
wants
gone.
this?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was just making my account and then it asked for my email and I was like, honestly, I don't want Neopet emailing me. I'm not doing this. Yeah. It's not worth the joke. But yeah, no, Neopets it was a time and a place and it was magical and now it's done.
I think I have Neopets cards in my closet. Nice.
I had so many Webkins. See, that's the thing. Neopets wasn't necessarily my thing, but Club Penguin and Webkins was my jam. All right.
It was Neopets 100% for me. I feel like the Club Penguin was the next generation.
It was. Club Penguin was the next generation. Webkins was the one after that, but even I was slightly into Webkins, and then it kept growing. So kids below me were even more into it. But I had a rabbit named Rabito, which, thinking about it now, quite racist.
Okay.
In hindsight, in 2020, yikes.
So yeah, Neopets is coming to TV, but there's a different game coming to a different place.
Guess what game that is? It's called Teamfight Tactics, and it's coming to mobile in March, which is exciting because TFT is actually really fucking fun, and I actually am very excited about this. Is it coming? Now I'm gonna look at this. Is it coming to users who hope to get into either of the betas can register for them now on both the Google Play Store and Android. All right, excuse me while I grab my phone and register for said beta. But no, I'm very excited because Teamfight Tactics is dope. It's really cool. It's the League of Legends auto chess deal auto battler, as they're calling them. And I will say also, I don't know if there's there isn't news about this, but there should be at some point because Legends of Runeterra, the card game, I think is also supposed to come to phones at some point. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it's supposed to. But that is in official open beta. So you can play Legends of Runeterra, which I have played the tutorial, and it was honestly pretty dope, and I want to play more. It's very unique, but it's cool. But yeah, TFT coming to mobile. Get excited, ladies and gentlemen.
I have another news story, Teddy.
That's okay. I'm already registered for TFT apparently. So
that is good to know.
We good.
Oh, frick. Okay. I have to throw this in real quick just because you reminded me. You know what game that I've been playing? Minecraft Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's out. Or I don't know if... Yeah, it's probably out for everybody. I've been messing with it. It's weird. I don't know. It almost feels like it should be a Lego game more than a Minecraft game. Obviously, it's got the creepers and the skeletons and stuff, but it seems to be more about, like, collecting blocks and building with them, and that's like it doesn't have the like exploration or like crafting like that you're crafting, but you're just tapping on stuff to get blocks and then you can get a deal. It only really works at all if you have a phone capable of AR plus. I tried it with my tablet, which it worked on but very badly. So you can build little diorama things in your home and like put the blocks down, and then you can place them in the world and they'll be bigger, and then you can like walk around in them. It's been all right. I can't place the big one in my home without it being weirdly like it'll float a couple feet off the ground, so that's weird.
Yeah.
But they also have adventures where you basically go to a park or whatever, and then you'll like place the adventure in the space, and then I'm kind of confused on what you're supposed to do there. I'm gonna play more and have maybe a better idea, but also I'm gonna wait till it's warm. I'm hoping to maybe make a video showing people what the experience is like, but I'm gonna wait till it's warm.
Yeah.
So overall, right now, I'm not really enjoying Minecraft Earth. If anybody wants a temperature rating on it, not high.
I'm not gonna lie, all that really made me do is be like, oh yeah, remember Minecraft Dungeons? That's coming out. I wonder when that release date is. It's in April, everybody.
Okay, the news story I have is Rockstar Games co-founder Dan Houser is leaving the company. This comes to me via Polygon, and I'm going to pull the quote that they have right here. And it says, after an extended break beginning in the spring of 2019, Dan Houser, Vice President, Creative at Rockstar Games, will be leaving the company. Dan Houser's last day will be March 11th, 2020. We are extremely grateful to his contributions. Rockstar Games has built some of the most critically acclaimed and commercially successful game worlds, a global community of passionate fans, and an incredibly talented team, which remains focused on current and future projects. Let's see. He was instrumental in the creation, writing, and promotion of the Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption series of games, serving as the lead writer on Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. He was also producer and writer on Bully and Max Payne 3. Sam Houser currently serves as president at Rockstar Games.
This is pretty big, though.
Yeah, this is like a big creative voice at Rockstar leaving.
Yeah, it's not just a business thing. Like he was the lead writer on GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. Like those are recent.
Yeah.
Like those are the two most recent Rockstar games. Like that's crazy.
And I mean, it sounds like he kind of had a hand on the wheel for the entire Grand Theft Auto series.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what the next era of Rockstar is without Dan Houser there.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not insanely different, you know. Hopefully somebody, I'm sure that right now they are probably working on GTA 6 and probably have been for a bit is my guess. So I'm sure he probably helped himself find a lead writer that would fit on that project, you know, like he probably put somebody in that role, hopefully. So
Teddy, you've got some hot
news. Just some quick little news stories. Not even news stories. Just like, one, shout out. If you have PlayStation Plus, go download the games because they're pretty good for this month. BioShock the Collection, which has BioShock 1, BioShock 2, and the DLCs for BioShock 2, which are apparently really good. Minerva's Den is the DLC that apparently is awesome. BioShock Infinite as well. So you're getting fucking 4 games this month, and then you're also getting The Sims 4. So those are pretty good. I need to download both of those. I haven't yet. And then also the Overwatch League is back, baby. We're ready. It was opening weekend this last weekend. It was so much fun, and I now want to get back into Overwatch again. I'm not gonna lie. Here's the thing, Bryce. Here's the thing. I need to say this on the air. You know.
Okay.
These are thoughts that I've had on my own, but I need to say this.
Are you going out for Overwatch League?
That's right. I'm officially trying out for the Dallas Fuel. Pick me up, guys. No, it's a whole thing where like up until literally this last week where like Overwatch League was coming back, I really did not want to fucking support Activision Blizzard. I haven't bought the newest Call of Duty because I did not want to support them after the China stuff because they have not done anything whatsoever other than 2 like half-hearted apologies that were not even real apologies for the most part. Like they did nothing. So I honestly really wanted to stick to that. But also I was really fucking missing Overwatch League and I really want to play Call of Duty. But it was also like it specifically with the Overwatch League, it got me thinking where I was like, honestly, the only people who fucking made that Blizzard decision are like the execs at the top. Like, do you remember when the Blizzard thing happened and all of the employees like went, or not all of them, but a lot of them did like walkouts. Some of them like taped over the morals in the front, like in front of the statue on their campus to be like, this is not what we're doing. Like it's such a bummer that like, for me, it's like I'm not, like the Overwatch League in and of itself is a giant entity at this point where there's players, there's casters, there's coaches, like none of them had anything to do with this. You know what I mean? It's a whole and like Activision Blizzard, me not buying Call of Duty is like trying to affect the giant company that is Activision Blizzard, whereas no one at Activision or not Activision, no one at Infinity Ward had anything to do with it. whatsoever, other than that, just that they're a publisher. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are creatives on those teams trying to make good games, and just because it's what they love to do. It's a bummer that, like, in order to hurt that and to send a message there, I would have had to, like, not support anyone else working at that company.
I mean,
you know what I mean? But it is the only option.
Yeah, because the only reason those people make those decisions because of money, and you have to hit them in the pocketbook for them to care.
For sure.
You at the same time, you do need to say, I'm doing this because of that. Yeah. And be vocal about it, so that when they see a dip in their profits, and hopefully enough people, boycotted that there is a dip in the profits.
Which didn't happen. That's done.
No.
There's no way, like, that's not a thing. Which was a bummer.
I'd like to think that maybe there's a long term that maybe, there's not going to be a sudden drop, but maybe overall things aren't going to rise up as much as they...
I think there was a sudden drop, and now people are going back to it because of time, and nothing happened. They didn't make any change, and people are impatient. Like me, honestly. Like, I don't think me not buying any Activision Blizzard game or being involved in anything with that whatsoever from here on out would do anything. I think all that is doing is punishing me because, like, I don't know. I really do like the Overwatch League, and I do, like, I don't know. I fucking love World of Warcraft and what they're doing and, like, what they've done with that world, and, like, there are so many people working on those games that have no impact whatsoever on those decisions and have no control over that. Like, there's so many people that were working on Overwatch 2 that are, like, fucking pumped about it and that are, like, excited to bring that new stuff, and then all of that shit hit and they're like, God damn it. Like, we're making this cool thing, and now, like, people aren't gonna buy it because of this. Like, I don't know. It's such a weird thing.
It's complicated, yeah. I mean,
it really is. It's definitely, there's a lot of different things to it, but the Overwatch League in and of itself, I do really enjoy. But the games were really fun. The games were super fucking fun to watch over this last weekend, and it was the first time that they are doing homestand stuff. So every week they are at different locations. So, like, this weekend, the morning games were in New York and the evening games were in Dallas. And, like, next weekend, I think they're in Philly, for the most part, and maybe one other. This was also something I wanted to point out too, as kind of a little news story. The February and March games for the Overwatch League that were supposed to be in China were canceled because of the coronavirus. So there's still games scheduled in China for later in the season, but for now they canceled those.
Yeah, a lot of things are being affected by that. I mean, I hear Switch production is being delayed. I mean, being affected at the very least because of it.
Yeah, the coronavirus is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a bummer. I still haven't bought Call of Duty yet, but part of me is like, God damn it, I really want Modern Warfare. There's, like, Season 2 is apparently starting, and apparently everyone really likes it, and it's really good, and I really miss Call of Duty, but it's fine. It's fine. I also don't need to as well, because I need to save money.
Maybe beat Assassin's Creed.
Yes, I also need to beat Assassin's Creed. Very badly. Yeah, I got other life shit going on. I don't need Call of Duty, but
not start another game.
It is a bummer. Like, there are what, like, probably at least 8 to 10 players on every team, and there's like 24 teams, and like I don't know. There's a lot of people that are involved in Blizzard, just, like, creatively.
Yeah,
and Activision Blizzard.
I mean, it's a massive company, and I mean,
yeah, it's one of the biggest.
That's part of the reason that it's such a big deal that they're being assholes, is because they're such a big, like,
yeah, they have such a big influence.
Yeah, their actions make big waves.
Yeah.
So
it's such a bummer. I think this is definitely me being fucking cynical as well, where I'm like, there's no way they were ever gonna do any sort of change because they fucking make money. They don't want, and China is a huge market when it comes to just people. They're not going to let, like, they're not gonna do anything that would jeopardize their games being banned there, because that's just a giant portion of their money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something to think, like, you, at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. But if it's something that you can, you know, if you can not play their games anymore and that's something you can handle, then do it. If you're like, hey, I need this in my life, then that's a thing that you, it's
which,
a decision
to be fair,
you make.
technically I don't need it, so it's like am I being irresponsible?
Yeah.
Probably. It's a thing. I've definitely gone back and forth about it, but so far I enjoyed my first week of Overwatch League. We'll see if I keep continuing to watch.
But I want to thank the people who watched this program and help it exist. The Patreon producers. Thank you, Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas. You are amazing. You are... What's another, like, good adjective?
Incredible. Fantastic, wonderful.
Like, the word delicious just kept coming to my head. And I was just like, I don't know if Dragons Lucas is delicious.
Oh my god.
I've never
delicious. Ew.
But thank you to Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas for helping support the show. Your donations helped this computer exist and thus got me back on the show. But if you want to help support the show, help me get a new boom mic, because I broke my boom mic right before the show started. You can go to patreon.com/lastgeek, and for $5 a month, you can get a shout out on Ready Set Gamecast each and every episode. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Now, while I was gone, I heard there's a new section of the podcast called Conversation Corner.
Before it was Teddy and Matt's Conversation Corner, but now it can be Teddy and Bryce's Conversation Corner for now. But yes, the Conversation Corner has been founded. We are in a corner, kind of, somewhat.
I'm in a
corner of a wall over there. That's fine.
I'm in a valley. Some sort of Stardew.
A corner.
Valley.
Oh my god. There, I've created one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, we just gotta hold up our hands. Welcome to the Conversation Corner. Okay, so I have 3 questions that I've come up with.
Okay. That last time I prepared the questions. So yeah, to those of you who are new, this is the Conversation Corner. We're in a corner. We're having a conversation. We're asking questions to each other, sometimes prepared beforehand, sometimes not. And we're here, and this is the jingle. Do, 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 do. Welcome to the Conversation Corner. Yeah, anyways.
My question to Teddy Chinaris is, if you could talk to yourself from 5 years ago, what would you tell them?
Oh my fucking god. That's a serious question. Okay, so if you could talk to yourself 5 years ago, what, 2015. Oh god, 2015, I was like just fucking starting college. Oh my god. Okay, real talk. I'll make this very short because there's a lot that I would tell myself, but just in general, 1, don't be such a fucking hermit. Don't like hermit away in your room and on your stream, right? Stream. It's a fun thing and you love doing it, make content, right? But don't only do that your almost entirety of college. Make friends. You need friends in the city that you are in, Teddy Chinaris. You're way better socially than you give yourself credit. You're not very awkward. You always thought you were awkward, but you're not. Just fucking talk to people and you'll make friends. Like, just talk to people. Make friends. That's the biggest thing I would say. I mean, there's definitely a lot of other things, but I would straight up be like, dude,
leave your house.
Not just leave your house. Actively try and make friends where you are, because that is so much more valuable than you realize. So much more valuable. And also like push yourself out of your comfort zone. That is very important. And I did not do that for most of my life. And I am now realizing how much that has affected me. So yeah, push yourself out of your comfort zone. Try new things. You might like them. Be open to new things. Like genuinely try and not be so closed-minded. Just be open to new possibilities. And yeah, save a little more money. Save some more money. You know that thing that you did a long time ago where you set aside 10% of every paycheck into your savings? Do that again. That's real good. That's real good. That's pretty much it.
All right.
As yeah.
Good advice.
Basics. What would you tell yourself from 5 years ago?
Okay. 5 years. I know I've been working at my current job for 8 years, but I became a driver, I think 5 years. No, 4.5. You know what I tell myself? Don't become a driver. I would tell myself, because there's a chick who stayed as a part-timer who I think you max out as a part-timer at my job at like $25 an hour, but you get to have a life. Yeah. And oh my God, I miss having a life. I miss having any control over my life and not just being like, you come in now, you leave work when we say you can leave work. You think you're about to get off work? No, you're not. You got to go here now. You got to do this.
Yeah.
There was a recent change that I was talking to my girlfriend. I'm like, maybe I move back in with my parents. Maybe, we could figure something out and stuff. Maybe I can quit. And she's like, I don't like this. Like, I don't like what they're doing to me. Like, I kind of wish I had just stayed where I was and just kind of, figured my life out from there and
yeah, kind
of tried. I mean, I wouldn't have a lot of the stuff I have right now and stuff, but I would have time. Oh God, yeah. I would have time, Teddy. I miss having time.
The most valuable resource.
Yeah, freaking in Endgame when Iron Man's talking to his dad and he's
such a good quote. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like what is it? Teddy's looking.
I'm looking it up. Yeah.
Something about
no amount of money ever bought a second of time.
Yeah. There was a point.
Very true.
There was a point where my boss was being like, "Oh, you don't want more overtime?" And I literally said those words to her.
No amount of money ever bought a second of time.
It's like, no, I want time. I'll pay for. I'll give you my money if you give me time. So yeah, that's probably the one thing I do is just be like, it's the money's nice. It's not worth the time.
Yeah.
If you had to replace a part of your body with a cybernetic part, what part would you choose?
This is an interesting question. This is a good question. Probably. Okay, so like are we living in the world that we're living in now, just like modern day?
Sure, yeah.
Technically. Okay, in that case, I would probably do my eyes. If it is proven tech, you know what I mean? Where like basically I got Google Glass in my eyeballs, but also the fact that it's 20/20 vision, I never have to wear glasses and never have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Like it's my prescription's not going to change. It is what it is. Yeah. That's cool.
Have you ever thought about getting LASIK?
Well, glasses are relatively new for me. First of all, they're only like I've only worn glasses for like the last. Oh God, I say that and then I think about it. I'm like, no, I've been wearing glasses for like 4 fucking years. Not really, maybe like 3. But my prescription has already changed like 2 or 3 times, so I definitely couldn't. You have to have it where your eyes are the same prescription for I think straight up like either 5 years or more, like before you can do LASIK, because they won't do it because then your eyes just keep getting worse. They have to be proven to like be stable. I have a new prescription. These are like 0.75 or whatever, and my next are like 1.25, so they go up like a half point or I don't fully know how that works. But apparently it's a decent jump. So like I have that prescription in my drawer over there. I just need to go to Walmart or Target and actually get new.
Your eyes are getting worse or better?
Worse.
Okay.
Yeah, but only a little bit. But these are fine for now. But when he did the test, I was like, no, those are definitely better.
Yeah.
So I do want to go get them, but the problem is I can't send to get new glasses. If I wanted these same frames, I'd have to basically like give them the frames, and they'd have to like send them off for like, and I would be without glasses for like 10 days, and I kind of need them to drive.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, and I don't have any extras or anything. So I'm gonna go to Target and try and find a pair that look very similar, to be honest. And get those. But I'm honestly a little scared because I like these frames a lot, and I'm a little worried about new ones. Change, man. Change is scary. But yeah, probably my eyes. What would you do?
I mean, right now, fucking my knees are like giving out. I think having like the eyes, having the like the Google Glass, like having,
and it's also where people wouldn't notice it.
Yeah, that too.
It would be sneaky.
But
and I could just change colors. What if I could just be like red eyes, purple eyes?
But be cool. Just that, like, if it just got rid of my knee pain, and then I could just like run super fast, all that, like,
that'd be cool.
Oh, I need to go next town over. Just go. That would be sick.
Be cool.
So maybe. Eyes is a strong contender, but if you told me I wouldn't have knee pain anymore, I might go legs.
If you told me that you could be the Flash with like 2 different legs, then I'd be like, oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah. There's been times I've thought about, like, what if I was the Flash and had my current job, and then I would like I would deliver everything, but then I'd like drive around in my car so it looks like I was.
Yeah, dude, so I remember when I was in high school and I was working at Zaxby's, and I straight up like I imagined all of the different stations, and I was like, bro, if I was the Flash, I'd just run this whole fucking place. I'd fire everybody, I'd run all of it. It'd be great.
Teddy, why do you like The Last Airbender so much?
Now that you ask, Bryce, I've been waiting for this question.
I should have just like skipped it and been like, what's your favorite kind of pudding?
Oh my god. Dude, this is such a good question. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy into it, right? I'm just going to say overall basics, Avatar The Last Airbender, the show on that you can buy right now on Blu-ray. Everybody go out and get it so that they make more. They're not gonna make, well, they are making the live action on Netflix, but it's a really fucking good show, man. If you have not seen it, you straight up need to watch it. It is 3 seasons. The episodes are 20 minutes long, and it is easily a show where they started off where the co-creators and the head writer basically were like, we have a vision for this show. Like, it is going to go 3 seasons. Like, they knew exactly what they were going to do with it from the beginning, and they nailed it. It's 3 seasons. It ends like all of the characters grow. Zuko's story arc is honestly one of my favorite character arcs of all time. Like, and they go through it and they nail every beat that they need to, and then it ends. And then it's like, that's it. Like, I mean, they do Korra later, but even then they don't touch Avatar. Like, The Last Airbender still exists. It's its own thing. Korra's like fucking 70 years later or something like that. And when they do touch on it, they pay it like the utmost respect. It's honestly like perfect TV. Like, it's so good. And I definitely play up how much I like it, but I want people to like it too because it's amazing. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like the one thing that definitely puts it over the top as to why I love it so much is absolutely Zuko. Like, Zuko's arc is fucking incredible. There's one speech that he gives, and I'm definitely not going to talk about it much at all, because like, it's definitely spoilers and you need to experience it the first time without knowing what happens to Zuko, right? But like, there's a speech that he gives, the like fucking line delivery and like the music, and he's straight up like, just, it's like, it's this whole thing, because at the end of season 2, he almost does it, but he doesn't, and he goes back to his old ways. And then like, you don't know if it's ever truly gonna happen, but then like the reveal happens and they kind of show how it's been happening the whole time, and you already know it because of the fucking season 2. It's so good, man. I would love to like do a podcast of that show, or I genuinely, before I die, want to make some sort of meaningful content on that show, either like a podcast dissecting every episode, or this is something I've wanted to do for a long time, which I'll never fucking do. But I would love to make a video, but like I straight up want to do like game design research before I make this video. I want to make a video showcasing how an Avatar: The Last Airbender MMO would work, and like showcase how that would work design wise and class based wise, and like I would love to do that. Like it's great. I love The Last Airbender. This is a poster of Aang that I have in my room for the video watchers, youtube.com/lastgeek. It's great. I have Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Lost Adventures. This is the first comic book, and I have not bought the others, but I bought the first because I haven't read them yet, but I bought the first one being like, this will get me started, and then I'm going to read this and then get caught up because there's a bunch of comics. But yeah. It's really good. Bryce, why do you like the Last Airbender so much? No, I'm just kidding.
I remember enjoying it, and it was like, oh, this is good, and but I don't have the love for it that you do. I'm telling you.
Well, it's only because I watched it in high school. I watched it in either my junior year or senior year of high school. Like I was older. I wasn't a young kid or anything. Like I had a summer where I wasn't doing anything, and it was on Netflix, and I watched season 1 in one day, season 2 in another day, and season 3 on the third day. I watched all 3 seasons in 3 days. And it was such a fucking journey, man. Like all of the characters mature so much, and they learn, like, it's actual, like, incredible character development. It's great.
I was trying to think if there was a show like that for me. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That's
where you
mine.
Just like went through it.
Well, no, that like is meaningful to me the way that Avatar is to you.
Nice. That's
because
good.
I literally was Star Trek Picard is out, and before we start watching that, like when I started dating Erin, I was like, okay, I'm gonna share some stuff I care about with you and stuff, and I started her with Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I'm gonna start you with the best, and then we'll work back from there. And the logical thing would have been to watch Star Trek Next Generation and then Deep Space Nine, because literally Deep Space Nine starts with a thing that happens mid Next Generation, and that it shows that Captain Cisco of Deep Space Nine's whole struggle and thing is tied to that thing in Next Generation. And I'm like, you'll see that later. We're focusing on this man, and you'll see what happened with Picard and his whole thing. Picard did some stuff. It was crazy. We'll see that later. But we went through Deep Space Nine, and then after, when Picard was coming out, we're like, okay, we'll watch through Next Generation, and it did, like, I watched it. I think this is the second time I've actually been through Next Generation, and I watched it for the first time when I was a kid, as it was coming out. Like, my parents would let me stay up to watch it, and it made me appreciate Next Generation a little bit more. But like when it was done, I asked Erin, I was like, so which one do you think is better, Next Generation and Deep Space Nine? And she's like, well, maybe it's just because we just finished it, but I really like Next Generation. And I was like, really though? I was like, when you think about it, like in Next Generation, basically every character kind of ends the same way they started. There's a few like small growths that like, Riker grew a beard, and
the most important development.
Yeah, and Troy wore a normal uniform after a while, after she got yelled at. But for the most part, people like started where they finished, and then I was like, just listing off characters from Deep Space Nine. I was like, Nog. Do you remember where Nog started and where he ended up? Like, freaking, they took Worf from Next Generation, and basically on Next Generation, he would just be like, we should attack them. And everybody like, no, we're not attacking them. And then they'd go do like the peaceful thing and stuff. But then they brought him on Deep Space Nine, and he became like a real character who like was the voice of reason and like a hero in a way that he was not on Next Generation. And like all those characters, like they made everything mean things. Like there was one of the strongest relationships in the show, like O'Brien and Bashir are best friends at the end of the show. At the beginning, they fucking hated each other, but there was a thing where they almost died. They were on a mission together. They almost died, and then after that, they started talking, and then they like did the growth that you see from these characters throughout the show is what makes it so much better than Next Generation. Next Generation is cool for what it is, and it is. I have much respect for what Next Generation does. I love those characters. I love Picard. I love that. And they have some very outstanding episodes. But at the end of the day, Next Generation is about going to a planet, going, you guys are dummies. You don't know about our great morals and stuff. And then they fly away. Deep Space Nine is this ragtag group of people planted on this space station with the entire galaxy showing up trying to blow them out of the water and them having to hold tight, and they don't get to fly away because they're just there and they have to hold on for dear life. And it's so powerful, and it takes everything from TNG, from Next Generation, and makes it either more meaningful or pushes the morals of it. It's like, when you're on the edge of the galaxy, can you just be like, you know what? We're the Federation. We're so cool. We're not gonna. No, you have to actually make a real decision. Hey, do we do some questionable stuff to make sure we don't die? And it's very strong. So that's my Last Airbender is Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
I like it. I mean, I will admit, just don't jump on me too hard. Star Trek is the one thing in nerd culture that has passed me by. I have zero connection to Star Trek. Not because like I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I just never fucking tried any of it. Because there's a lot.
Yeah.
And I was very young. And Doctor Who is one of those things where I got into Doctor Who because of the 2005 reboot, and it was on Netflix. So that Star Trek never really had an entry point like that. As far as I know. I mean, the movies that are recent would have been that, but I just never ended up seeing them. I didn't end up seeing them because I was like, I know there's so much baggage here. You know what I mean? I know there's so much history that I don't really want to touch it. Unless I do it right.
I have problems with those movies because they're not in... They're not Trek to me. They don't have the morals that are associated with Star Trek to me. That they basically are just action romps with the Star Trek name on them.
Heard.
So
that's what I've heard.
Yeah. We did not get any questions or comments this time. We did actually get a weird spam that I was almost like, is this a thing? But it was like it looked like they took a bunch of fiction. Like I was reading it out, and at one point they're like, and then they found the body of Frankenstein, and then just like random words scrambled together, and I was like, I don't know what this is, and I was like, should I read it? But it was like 2 paragraphs. I'm like, I'm not reading it, but it was weird.
It's weird.
But if you want to send us a legitimate question, if you want to be part of the show, you can go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite Teddy Chinaris quote for us to read on the show. Housekeeping. Go to lastgeek.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on YouTube. If you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful. Other Last Geek stuff you should check out. Oh, my bomba. Okay.
What the fuck was that sound?
It is when we are recording this as it rolls over onto February 11th, 2020.
Yep.
On February 11th, 2020, a thing called podcast radio launches in London. People should listen to it because they might hear my voice on it. I've been in talks with the people, and I haven't actually gotten any emails back since I sent them the stuff. But as I understand it, I will be on it. You will be able to hear me there. Not this podcast. That would be really weird to put video game news. That would probably be out of date for the most part. But the I have another show, and go to lastgeek.com/store to get some awesome merch from this show, Game Corp, and general Last Geek merch. There are leggings, posters, hoodies, stickers, and more. Check out the newest episode of Game Corp. God, what is the latest episode? Is Oh No, I'm a Doctor. About apparently there's a book series called Selby the Talking Dog, which somebody sent us the game idea of make a game where you play as Selby the Talking Dog and you have to make sure they don't find out you're a talking dog. And we didn't know anything about this series, so for a while there,
researched it. Yeah,
for a while there, we were just like, okay, we're just gonna make it up. And then at one point, we looked it up. I was like, what? I need to know. And it's a thing, and we made a game about it.
It's like that Disney Channel show, Dog with a Blog.
Yep, exactly like that in every way. The latest Let's Play is Who's Your Daddy. They're due to technical issues. We haven't had a new Let's Play in a while. I'm working on it. That brings us to the end of this episode of Ready Set Gamecast. Teddy Chinaris, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris. The last name is Chinaris. And then the same thing, Twitter.com/Teddy Chinaris. Instagram.com/Teddy Chinaris. I'm doing a lot more Instagram story stuff, like the fucking... I was like watching the Overwatch League, and I did a video when the Dallas Fuel, my team, was playing San Francisco Shock, which was last year's champions, and they won a map. So to win the match, you have to win 3 maps. It's like best of 3, and Dallas won 1, and I was like, holy shit! And I took a little video of like them celebrating their win. And I was like, no big deal, just my team winning a map against last year's season champions. And then the next one is just an image of at the end where the big video wall at the venue lights up and it's like San Francisco wins. And I was just like, welp. They lost, but it's fine.
You also did one where it snowed.
It was very pretty.
I remember Aaron being like, "Oh, Teddy's Instagramming that it's snowing there."
It was pretty.
Yeah, we have lots of snow, so we don't like it.
We do not. It is very rare. It's like once every 3 years it snows, and it's rare that it like sticks on the ground. And it stuck on the ground for like a night, and then we woke up, and by the afternoon it was melted.
Nice.
But it was nice to wake up and be like, "Oh, look at this."
I would like the snow to be gone. That would be pleasant.
Yeah, that's fair.
People can find me at twitter.com/lastgeek. twitch.tv/lastgeekplays, which I'm actually excited because I've lost all my stuff. I've been resetting up my stream stuff, and I'm kind of like recreating and I'm simplifying some stuff that I had a little bit too complicated. I'm redoing a lot of my images and stuff, and I'm excited to kind of like start fresh with some of my stuff.
Nice.
I don't know when I'll be streaming, but when I do, it's going to be fresh and cool and nice. And so you should follow me there so that you're ready. Mixer.com/lastgeek. I probably won't stream there, but maybe I will.
But you can follow me there.
Yeah. Facebook.com/lastgeek. You'll be able to find out when I'm doing Extra Life because there's an event there. It's October 17th. And don't forget to submit Teddy Chinaris for Kind of Funny Up and Comer. When the description be like, he would be good for your video game news podcast because he's been doing a video game news podcast for the last 3 years and he's real good on it.
I have also I also very much have the weird kind of insane mind of Greg Miller. You ever watch one of those things where he goes on like those just rants? Like, have you seen the most recent Kind of Funny podcast? Not the most recent one, but the drunk one that they did on a 12-hour stream.
I think I've seen clips from it.
It's so good. He goes on this whole story of Rimothy.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen
Tim Getty's son. It's so good, and like I do that shit all the time. That's like so perfectly my humor. Like when I stream, I just fucking go into weird shit like that. So I feel like me and Greg on some content where he's drunk and I don't even need to be drunk. I'm just like this normally. Would just be great. It'd be so much fun.
We need to get Tage and Eris to Kind of Funny so that they can get him drunk.
Wow.
First time drinking on stream in front of thousands of people.
That's not dangerous.
Okay, this brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for listening, watching, and enjoying this content. We will see you again in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.